Alright, today I'm going to attempt to change the blower motor in a 1998 Chevy Blazer. First thing I noticed is that it don't see any screws, but it's got this line going through here. And if you look closely, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it says cut along here for service. So I got to cut out an access port, well, I guess along this line all the way around, so I can have access to the screws to bolt in the new part. It's in the box there. GM original part. It's the only one I could find that had the little plug there for the little ground wire, and also the square plug. So we'll get at it. Alright, well, first thing I'm going to attempt to do is get some of these wires and junk out of the way, because I can't really get a box knife in there and cut along this line with all these wires in the way. So first I'm just unplug stuff. Slide that out. Squeeze and unplug. Just disconnected the computer. Alright. And more plugs at the bottom of it. Alright. Pulls right out. And this here, got a little squeeze tab right there. Push in, pull out. Connector looks good. Alright, what else have we got in the way here? Got some other plug down here. Okay, let's take out these 10mm bolts. There's 3 of them around the computer box. Back here, the back corner. Get a better look at these plugs, how they come undone back here. There's 2 more plugs on the bottom. Can you see them? Right there and there. Okay, so I just gotta figure out how. Looks like there's a squeeze tab on that. Why is this being difficult? And this over here is another tab. It says green. Alright, well, I was struggling on those bottom ones, but if you're looking here closely, it says red, and this other one's going to be green. So here's the wires that came out. Okay, the white, of course, goes into the white. It's got the white end, the black end, and there's the black one. And I guess I said green, but I guess it's blue. Either way, they're there's 4 of them out of the back of the computer. So get that out of your way. And now we gotta see. Looks like there's we're attached to the sidewall here with a locator. We'll pop that out and pull all these wires out of the way. All right, go ahead and pause that. And of course, old plastic snapped right off. Of course. Anyway, all right, get that out of the way. Right there. So that's gonna come unplugged. Get that out of the way. And attached to down here? Looks like there's a little bracket screw. It's got the wires attached to it. There's a little nut. And it looks like it's maybe an 8mm, so I'm gonna take off that little 8mm nut. But it looks like this water jug's gotta come out too. And we'll take off one right here. One nut, two nuts, there, and a third nut back here. Let's see if those are 10s. Hey, what luck? They're 10s. On this screw, so you saw a little, then move on. Ready, go. Right here it is. Right. And go. Fine. Last nut out. Now, let's see if that's all of them. This water jug will pull out here. Let's see, that drain tube, I think, just goes straight to ground. Now, there's the overflow. Wiggle jiggle. It's kind of a tight fit. I hate to think I gotta take this battery out to get this water jug out. And I do. Ain't this a wonderful piece? Okay, so now I'm gonna remove the battery. All right, make sure you're taking the negative off first, so that way if you come in contact with anything, you're not electrocuting yourself. And then there's a little mount down here in the bottom that holds the battery down, little nut. Get that. And that looks like, let's see if that 10 fits it. I don't think it will. No, it's gonna be like an 11 or 12. Get that battery out of there. It should look right out. Get that up out of the way. Let's just sit it over here. Ain't trying to make it leak nowhere. Alright, now what do we have? This looks like tubing to the washers. Alright, I gotta start cutting along the edge of this line. So let me grab a knife and get on it. And now I'm just running a utility knife, following the line. Practicing my art skills from kindergarten. We'll come back when I get that cut out, but it's just regular old utility knife. Now, believe it or not, you go all this cutting. They actually have, look, see these tiny little screws here that are all the way around the actual motor? They got one on the outside of the rubber. Way down here in the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. Gotta get my light on it without.
Well, your head.
Get my head out of the way. You see it? Back in there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so. I'm gonna have fun trying to get that out now. That's my next move. You can pause it. So you know, those little screw heads are 5.5 millimeter. Nice, weird 5.5. So I gotta get the right proper extension and get on that. Let's see, I'll need that. Oops, don't want to lose that. Let's see if I can get in there. I might need swivels. I don't know. Okay. I put a magnet in there so I wouldn't lose this little screw. That's what was down at the bottom. Coarse thread with a wide washer on it. Now, theoretically, this cover will pull out. That little bit's still attached that I can't see to cut. And it'll access the other screws all the way around it. And get it out. Go ahead and pause while I cut this. Alright. The hardest part of this job. Cutting out that stupid cover. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Now, all we gotta do, and this part here is just all brittle. I'm not even going to use that new hose. I'll probably just reuse this old hose because it's in good shape. Now, more of those 5.5 millimeter screws. We got one here, here. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. The one right back here on the side. And this thing theoretically should pull right out. Easy peasy. Right? All right. So let's grab. Now these screws don't have the big fat washer on them, and they look like they're a little shorter from, yeah, to compare the two in my dirty hands. Okay, so that's the one that's on the very bottom that went through the rubber boot. All right, on to the next one. I'll just give you 3 or 4 seconds of that. Okay, go. This one here doesn't have a whole lot of swing room. Might need a small extension, but if you get an extension, then you can't get in there because of the side of the molding of the cab. So you got to use patience. Last one down here in the bottom. Here's pulling it out. Did I say here's pulling it out? Continuing to that stud. Oh, that stud's going to be in my way. So to remove that stud, what can I do? Let's see, I think there's a screw, it's coming through from the bottom side. Reach around. Yep, come around here. Come down. Can you see on that? It's a square head. Are you seeing it?
No.
There, let me get it. You're just floating in the air. Okay. Did you flip the camera upside down on me?
No.
Yes.
Maybe. It's probably zoomed in too.
Why are you zoomed in? We're gonna have to pause it. So there it is. It's that square head bolt right there that I'm looking at. So it's up in the fender well. You'll feel it. It lines up with the thing on top. So I'm gonna knock that out so we can pull that motor out. Pause. Go ahead. I had to finagle around this, lift this up, and I was able to barely get it out over that stud. So that won't come out of best efforts. That won't come out. So anyway, we look inside there and it all looks good and clean. We didn't drop any debris in there. One small little piece of plastic. I'll make sure it's all cleaned out. Reaching down. Oh, what's this? Oh, we got some goodies. We got goodies. So I'm gonna do some work cleaning this out. Got all kind of pine needles and stuff. I'll get to working on that. Let's check. Oh, this has got all. It's hard to turn. I mean, the other one's not. The new one is not like really simple. Let's check. See the resistance on it. How different it feels. Oh yeah, that can freely spin. This one definitely is not a free spinner. But let's compare the shapes to the outsides and everything while we got them out side to side. They do appear to be similar in style. Although the clip looks a little different. It is 2-prong. I hope the thing plugs in. It's supposed to be a GM original part. Everything else pretty much looks the same except that this prong is here instead of here. So we'll hope it plugs in. Alright, so the motor's definitely no bueno. We gotta clean that out. Action. Alright, here we go. We're gonna take the new one, stick it in there. And you'll see what I meant by taking the other one out. By putting this one in. This hose up out of the way. This right here is the one that was in there. I said that was in the way, but this one's in the way too. Alright, so let's see. Okay, time out just a second. Okay. Grab a hold of this booger. The struggle is real. I don't want y'all to get the misimpression that it's easy. Okay. It's thread and a needle. Now the old one came out, so this one's going to go in. Hell or high water, it's going in. We shop vac, get all the leaves and pine needles out. Just kind of get over the hump. What is holding me up? Feels like there's something holding me up.
Is it hitting that thing like again?
Other than that too, but feels like it's something other than
no,
these two. Feels like it's hung on something on the side. I gotta pull it out and see why this is not wanting to cooperate. The smarter move would probably be to pull this tube all the way out, but this whole case thing is there. It's not worth that hassle. I don't think that's the issue. That is not impeding my hole. Let me look on this. Alright, it just felt like something on this side over here was getting in the way. Alright. I know this is going to be in the way. It is going to be an issue. But that is not my issue that's holding me up. It's that stupid screw, but if it came out, it can go in. But that is not holding up. What is over here? Okay, now, once you finally get it up over the stupid stud, there's a locator here. See a little nub? So you gotta line up your screw holes and your locator and get it, and it just sits right in its hole. And now it's just a matter of shoving screws back in. So let's grab some screws. See if I can get them located and hand started. My head ain't in the way, is it?
No.
Okay, good. There's one. This one over here. A piece of rubber that went through to make it shimmed out the right distance, or put that whole rubber cap back on. I don't know. Tough part is getting in there. just getting in there. And this little tube. Stick it back in the bottom of the motor, but I'll wait till it's secure. It's too wiggly now. I'll just tighten all these up. You don't need to watch me do that, but I'm going to tighten all these 4 up that are there. And then I'll cut out the spacer for where the bottom was, which is here. And then just so it's spaced properly for that long screw, I'll cut that out and put it on there, because I don't see a purpose unless that's some sort of, I don't know. I'll tighten all these up and then decide. Pause. Now I'm going to take this little tube and stick it back in the bottom of the motor. So that's all in there. Just for simplicity, I'm just going to take this whole thing and shove it back on there. And then I'll shove the screw back through its hole, original hole here. The bottom hole for the thing. Line it up. Shove it in. Make sure that I got... I need to cut out some more to get that pin on there, because this one's got a different configuration for the pin. So we'll pause that. And I'll cut that. And we're finishing up that final screw at the bottom. It's hard to get in there. I opted with an extension. Lost my 5.5 millimeter into the abyss, so it's a 7/32 also fits it. So finish up a few more turns on this and put everything else back together. Pause. Okay, so now we can plug this junk back in. That's in there. And this will go on there. And then, let's see, what did we do next? Water bottle. It's got to go back in. We unplugged this. We unplugged this from something on the side. Oh, that's this broken piece of plastic. There's another wire on the side. I tucked it over here. Here it is. This one. Plug that one back in. Click. That's the one that comes over to the side. And then, yeah, this one's going to plug into this right here. So we'll mess with all that as we put the computer back in. Next is the water bottle, which is right here. I'm going to pause it a second. All right, now feed this in there past the junk that's hung up on. This drain tube goes through a little hole in the fender cover down there. Is that your phone or mine?
Mine.
Okay. There we go. Yeah, see how easy that was? Now this stud that gave us fits before, get the water bottle on the back of that. And this other stud's sitting up here in the front. There. And this stud here in the front. There. Put on my 3 nuts. Put in the battery. Attached to the computer. Okay, pause. Are you recording?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now this drain tube, I'm feeding into
There's
this
no
hole.
light down there though. You can't see it.
I'm feeding this drain tube into this little space right in here. Can you see where my magnet is slopping through there?
Yeah.
That's where I'm feeding that drain tube into. Right here. Right there. Feeding that drain tube right back into there. And now, I'll take this tube and put it back on the radiator. Okay, and pause. There you go. All right, now you see here, it says, I don't know if you can see it on there, well, it tells you blue, red, black, white. So that's all we're gonna do, is we're gonna plug them in accordingly. So, it clicks when you push it in. You're probably not gonna get a good angle to see it unless you come around this way. You gotta come behind me to see it. I gotta find the hole. There it is. It's a tight fit. Like they didn't give any extra space. Push into it, clicks. I already clicked that one. Now I can set this back in its semi-place. The other wire's ready. Black. Click. The white. Make sure it's in there. Don't want to force it and bend any pins. Let's click. And then our safety clips, or retaining clips, or whatever, they slide back in there. Alright, so we're plugged back in there. We got this wire here that needs to plug in. This way I gotta zip tie that back to the side of the wall where the thing broke off. But this plugs in down here. Alright, and then the 3 screws that we took it out with. Got a screw here in the front. As you remember taking it out. Screw here on the side. Flashlight's dying. And then the one more back corner. We'll put in the battery and we'll be done. You don't need to see me put a battery in. But that's how you struggle to put in a new blower motor in a, what is it, 98 Blazer. Remember, I'm not a mechanic. I just play one in my garage. Thanks for watching.